Hello, everybody. Well, today's day 14, and yesterday ended up, good Sunday. Um, I had a lot of good food, keeping it keto, staying in my macros. Everything went well. So today is back to intermediate fasting. So nothing to eat until oh noonish, somewhere in there, noon, 1 o'clock, and that'll give me 16 to 18 hours. Um, so that's kind of the goal for today is just do my intermittent fasting um, and then I'll break my fast very slowly and eat today and back onto my routine. Back to Jacksonville tomorrow. So everything's going great. Just staying on track. That's the main mindset. Finding new recipes. There's tons of recipes out there. You just got to look for them. You just got to be careful and watch what they're putting in them, and make sure that it is staying in keto. Make sure you're getting the right amount of fat and protein, um, and hardly no carbs. And it's the carbs. You got to watch them. They're hidden. You got your sugars in there. You just basically want to go off them total carbs, not net. A lot of people try to go off the net carbs because that's a big thing. Is well, that's your net carbs, and you don't count fiber. Yes, you do. It's still a carb. You still count it. At least on keto, on this program, this way of eating, you do want to count them because it is. That's some people have problems, and that's one of them. When you talk to them, you find out they're only counting net carbs. They're not counting sugars and everything. So you got to count it all. It's just going to help you in the long run achieve your goals, faster too. But, feeling great. Everything's, I feel great. I'm not tired. I don't have any withdrawals, no issues like that. About the only thing that I deal with, and I've dealt with it forever, is leg cramps. But I've got some things I need to go get, and supplements, um, potassium, magnesium, especially those two, in higher doses for me, um, because of the leg cramps. And I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but if you have leg cramps when you're working out, don't hold me to this, but I think you need potassium. If you're having leg cramps when you're totally resting, you need potassium. And forget about getting your potassium from bananas, because if you eat a banana, you're not going to be in ketosis. It will kick you immediately out. They are very high in sugar. Um, that's why they taste so good. They're sweet. They're nature's candy, and they're still candy. So I don't eat bananas anymore. And of course, with the flushing that my body's doing, I get rid of the potassium and the magnesium. I get rid of everything, so I got to go put it back in. Um, and that should help my leg cramps. One trick that I did find out, I haven't tried yet, is they say if you will, had a doctor at this conference that I went to Saturday, say if you're having leg cramps, get milk of magnesia and take a dose right before bed for a whole week every night. And he said that will make them go away and alleviate them. And it's because milk of magnesia is full of magnesium. So, so I know I need some potassium and magnesium, and that should help my leg cramps. Because I get them both. I get them when I'm doing something, walking, and I get them when I'm resting. So I'm on both spectrums, and but I got to take care of that. I just hadn't went and got the supplement. Um, and I'm real picky about buying supplements. I got to trust the manufacturer. I got to really believe that what they say is in there, and that it's bioavailable. That I can actually absorb it and that I could absorb, everything that's in their pill. Because I hate wasting money. I hate spending my money on something that is not even getting into my system. That just aggravates me. So I'm very cautious. So that's one reason I really haven't run out, and got any. I got to do a little research, and I'll find somebody, a good company that's reputable and that I can trust. And when I do, I will buy some. I've got a couple places. I just got to go look. I got to make the time to do it. Um, and I will, and there's some other, I really do need a multivitamin that I'm not taking. Right now, I'm really not taking any supplements, or I would have already told y'all. Uh, Pretty much all I take is stupid meds, what I'm left taking anyway, um, which I'm fixing to cut one of those out, just because of the way I'm eating. But there's, it's just a, I have to take a low dose aspirin that I really don't like taking. Aspirin's not good for your gut line or anything. And I'm gonna quit taking that. That's for blood thinning, to go along with my blood thinner. But there are things that I'm eating that also thin the blood, like if you eat greens. Last night I had collard greens. We had big old fat uh, pork chops last night. I mean, this butcher box company that I'm buying my meat through now. We opened the pork chops last night. It was the first time we had them, and man, they're like a inch thick. They were nice, and they were delicious. And of course, they're all non-GMO, no grain. You know, fed hogs, and they're not fattened up with corn. So they're, what do you call it? I don't want to say gourmet, but I don't know. I can't think. I need more coffee. Um, but they're healthy, better than what you can buy at the local stores, and they were delicious. So we had them with some collard greens and some mushrooms, a little bit of mushrooms, a little bit of onions. So that was a very good dinner last night, and that topped my day off and put me right where I needed to be with my macros, my fats, protein, and carbs. So it's been good. And I talked to y'all seen the video. I'm assuming where I went over and helped my brother out, and he's doing much better. He said he feels better. Everything seems to be flowing better. Going better for him, more energy, and so I'm glad that could got him straightened out. Which basically was, he just wasn't eating enough fat, and he also was eating too many carbs. You need to tailor this keto thing to fit you, okay? And what I mean by that is, you don't have to be so rigid. It's not that it's a rigid program. First of all, exactly what I'm eating is not exactly what you may need. So you kind of tailor it to fit you. The biggest thing is making sure your percentages, in your fats, your proteins, and your carbs are somewhere in that range. Like I said before, if you end up, you're getting 60 fats and 20 proteins and 2 or 3 or 4% carbs, that's fine. You don't have to make it to 70, 30, or whatever, 70, 25, or, it's just get it as close as you can in that range. You don't have to be perfect. And one thing about the macro counters or your carb counters, don't let them dictate what you eat. What I mean by don't worry about the calories so much, you know. Yeah, you don't want to get extreme amount of calories, you know, but and you can get that from fats or carbs or protein, whatever. But it's just like sometimes I get a little mind trip going, man, I haven't had enough calories today. But the point is, I'm not hungry. So I've already found myself making the mistake of making myself eat. I got to stop doing that. Um, that's one thing I learned at the conference too, because my body will tell me when I'm hungry. My body's going to let me know when it needs food and nourishment. So if I'm only eating 1,000 calories for that day, then that's what my body needed that day. And some people freak out and, oh my God, you're going to starve yourself to death. No, I'm not. I mean, there's days I've had 600 calories and I was fine. Now, yeah, it was incorporated with fasting, but still I was fine. I wasn't hungry. There's days I get 1,500 calories. There's days I get 1,800 calories. I have never had a 2,000 calorie day yet since I started this. I don't really, at this point, think I could eat 2,000 calories. I would be so over full, and that defeats my purpose of I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. I used to eat until I just hurt. And of course, then I was eating the wrong food too. So, listen to your body. Just keep your macros in close check, but don't have to be dogmatic about that, and just mainly keep your ratios right as far as your, the higher fats, medium protein, and low carb. And if you stay under 20 carbs, you're going to be in ketosis. You're going to have the ketones in your body. And some people will tell you, oh, you shouldn't be in ketosis, oh, that could be bad. Well, they're thinking about a different type. And what happens if you have ketones in your body and high sugar? That's bad. Yes, that's bad. But see, that's the whole thing about this program. You're not going, if you're following it correctly, you're not going to have ketones and sugar, high sugar in your body at the same time. Because to get the high sugar, you're going to have to you're going to overeat on carbs or sugars, starchy food, and that's going to raise your insulin, which shuts off ketone production, and so you'll be okay. High ketones, like with the diabetic, and stuff, you can get. There are rare times they get ketones and sugar. It oxidizes the ketones, and it's bad. But on this program, your sugar's going to drop. Trust me. I mean, like I said, the doctor that Dr. Westman out of Duke University puts everybody he sees on this program, and that's the number one thing he does. That's his first line of attack on anybody's health is this program. And if you're on insulin when you go to him, he will cut your insulin in half the very first day. That's how extremely effective this is on sugar and diabetes. I mean, that says a lot right there, that a doctor would do that. So don't worry about that. If you got people telling you what to do, look, if you start this, trust me, you're going to have people that say, that's great. I've heard about that. Yeah, I've thought about it myself. It's interesting. Let me know how it goes. And then you're going to have people that think you are absolutely nuts, off your rocker, telling them you're going to eat high fat. Because they also have been trained their whole life, just like me and you, that fats is at the top of the pyramid. You have hardly any. The super low fat diet. Well, they just don't know. They haven't seen keto. They haven't studied it. They don't know nothing about it. And it's just they're still stuck in the let's eat low fat and high carbs, which is killing everybody in America, making everybody unhealthy, even skinny people. So, there's story in the Bible. A little old lady that her husband died. It's back in the Old Testament, bad times. She's starving to death. Her kids are starving to death. And she goes to the holy man and asks him what to do. Can you talk to God for me? Back in that day, they had to go through a priest or something to talk to God. And so this holy man was very holy. And he come back to her and said, yeah, I've got your answer. Go in your house and lock yourself in there. But before you do, gather every vessel that you can and put in your house, take you and your kids and lock yourself in there, close your doors, close your windows, and the little bit of oil you have, start pouring it in your first vessel. And the lady's like, are you nuts? What are you talking about? He said, just go do it. So she did. They gathered every vessel they could and closed all the doors, closed all the windows so nobody could see what they're doing. And she started pouring, and she had just a tiny little bit of oil, maybe a quarter cup. And she starts pouring, fills the whole first vessel up, grabs the next vessel, fills it up. They ended up filling up every vessel in their house. And like most people do with God, is they underestimate him, and they did not get enough vessels because they still had oil. And that oil never stopped pouring from the very first little jar she had until every vessel in that house was running over full of oil. Now, the thing about oil back in the Old Testament, it was like gold. They used oil for everything. They put it in their hair. They put it on their feet. They ate it. It was like, it was very expensive. It was the price of like gold would be today. So, he pretty much set her up in the oil business, so to speak. Made her very wealthy. But the point God was trying to tell her is go in your house and close your doors. This is something I'm telling you to do. Because your neighbors are going to think you're nuts. They're going to try to talk you out of it. They're going to try to downplay what you're doing, mainly because they don't understand it and they're not doing it. So, you can take that story right there and put it in your life. Sometimes it's best not to tell people what you're doing. Just do it. Don't worry about people. The only reason I knew I could start this channel and talk about this openly and freely is I don't give a rat's ass what somebody thinks. That's just my attitude. I'm sorry to say that, but I can press on with the naysayers, and I can do that. It's nice to have. So far, everybody on here, everybody that's seeing this has been absolutely wonderful with the comments, and I've had people share my videos, and that's awesome. And I appreciate it from every one of you. I do. But trust me, in my personal life, friends that I know, have kind of, raised their eyebrows at me. And what are you doing? You're going to die. And you need to be eating salad, and it's just funny. Sometimes the closest people to you have the ability to hurt you the worst. So just kind of remember that, and on the other hand, hey, if you are a Christian and you believe in God and God tells you something to do, then lock yourself up and do it. Don't worry about what somebody else says, so in both ways, if it is a God thing, do it. If it's a personal thing, you still can apply that to your life, and do it. So, like I said, I don't know. I get a little stubborn. And when I believe in something wholeheartedly like I do, I'm going to do it until I prove myself wrong. And so far, I'm not. Things are working. And like I've told everybody, you're going to have your ups and downs. I don't care what you do. That's the way life works. And this diet program will have its ups and downs. That's why I don't worry about the weight. That's why I don't weigh that much. That's why I'm not going to weigh every day. That will drive you absolutely nuts, because one day you're going to be up 2 pounds, the next day you'll be down 5 pounds. It's just the way the body works. So I don't really put a lot of stock in that. What I'm putting stock in is what I can see health-wise as far as sugars, blood pressures. And I'm waiting. I can't wait to get back my blood work, of course, because now the first blood work that I took is going to be from the old way I ate, all the meds and all that. But that's okay. That's my starting point. I want to look at it. I want to know what it says. I want to understand it, so that 6 months from now, when I do the next series of all these tests, I want to see the difference. That's my markers. That's what I'm going to go by. Because, see, that's the hidden stuff that changes, that we want to change, that you necessarily can't see on the outside. But then again, my wife posted a picture of me in January. Matter of fact, New Year's Eve. At a little party. I had a stupid little New Year's Eve hat on. And then she posted a picture she took of me Saturday, right before I went to this conference. It was unbelievable, because, see, I see myself every day. I look in the mirror every day, and I don't see those little tiny changes. But when she put those two pictures side by side, it blew my mind. I had lost weight. You could see it extremely in my face. And one of the comments was, wow, he looks younger. So there's subtle things that happen to your skin on the outside, of course, losing weight, but just your skin itself by eating this way, that's going to make your complexion better and look better. So my point is, hey, hang in there. If you're doing this, you're taking your own health, your own life in your own hands, and you're doing something about it. That's awesome. That's the main concern. That's the main focus. And just keep on keeping on. If you've started this, you probably feel better already. But like in the case of my brother, where you start getting so extremely tired and bogged down, something's wrong. Check the hidden carbs. Make sure you're getting the your macros and your percentages close. Like I said, they ain't got to be dead on perfect, because a therapeutic dose or a therapeutic diet of the keto is actually like 80 to 90% fat, about 20 to 30% protein, and about 2 to 3% carbs. So I'm not even doing that one. I'm doing around roughly, I'm trying to stay somewhere around 70. So 60 to 70 on my fats. I'm right in the 20 to 25 on my carbs, and then 5 to 10% on proteins a while ago, and then 5 to 10% on my carbs, and that keeps me under 20 grams of carbs. So there's a difference now when I'm talking between percentages and grams. So that's my goal. I don't want to go over the 20 grams of carbs, and and I'm staying up there 60 to 70% on my fats, and then the rest is the protein in the middle. You got to have protein. You need the protein. But there are times you actually could get too much protein and not enough fat. So that's why you kind of keep them in those ratios. And then you'll be fine. You will start feeling better. You will have the energy. And like I said, you need to replace the electrolytes, because you're going to be getting rid of them along with all the bad stuff your body's getting rid of. And the best way to do that is start adding pink Himalayan salt, or as an alternative, sea salt, real sea salt, to everything you drink. Put it in your water, put it in your tea, put it in your coffee. The coffee I have right now has got it in it. Keep putting that in everything you got. It will help you replace your electrolytes. And that alone is going to make you feel better. And then if you have high blood pressure, if you add some potassium, and always add magnesium with the potassium, they work together. And some K2, and always add D3 to K2, because they work together, and that will start helping your blood pressure along with this diet. So there are little tricks, and that's what my brother started doing, and immediately. He bought them, I think, Friday morning, took them, and by Friday night, he felt better. Friday afternoon, he already felt better. You got to replace those things in your body, because you are extremely going to dump, what I call dumping, just getting rid of everything. When you go to the bathroom, both sides of it, you're getting rid of a lot of the bad stuff in you. and your body is changing and converting from burning sugars and carbs to burning fats. So, but that's what you want. That's how we get rid of all this fat. That's how we get healthy. So look, y'all know what I'm going to do today. Fasting till probably about noon. Then I'll have a very light meal, mostly protein and fat. Well, all protein and fat, not mostly, no carbs. Just to break it and come out of it. And then probably a nice supper tonight. I'm not sure what I'm going to have yet. Got to figure something out. And then I'll be back in Jacksonville, back on my routine. So good luck to everybody. Thanks, everybody. Keep hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, and definitely press the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the comments. You know, leave me a comment if you need to get a hold of me. If you want to ask me some more direct questions, trust me, I already have people doing that on my Facebook. If you're not on my Facebook, it's Tiny in parentheses or Tiny dash Michael Andress, Andress. Yeah, you can get on my Facebook. That's fine, because I post. I just hadn't figured out on here yet how to do it. As you see, I do not edit none of this. Maybe in the future I will. I don't know. These are pretty raw videos. I'm going to try to get a little better at this video thing. I'm going to tell you, when I started this video thing, if you ain't never talked to a phone camera, it's not that easy. Now, I can sit around and talk to people all day long, you know, face to face. But here I'm talking to a stupid camera or my phone. It's not that easy. But I'll get there. I'll get these videos better. I've actually ordered me a new camera, so I'm not doing it on my phone, which is going to help me. I'll be glad when it gets here. And the audio should be better and all that. And then I can kind of, I don't know, put it on tripod. That's going to help me do some of the cooking things I want to do. I want to show some of this actual cooking of keto and show the ingredients and show how I mix them and just, you know, kind of go through that. But I got to get there first, and then I will. So I'm looking forward to getting that. But anyway, if you need to contact me, that's how you do it. I'll talk to you about this program. So anyhow, y'all have a wonderful day. And if you're on this program, hey, keep it keto. We can get there. We'll do it together. Let me know how you're doing if you are on this program. I would really be interested in knowing. So until later on, y'all have a wonderful day. I will talk to you later. Bye.